What if I told you the strangest, weirdest, most unthinkable home features ever invented didn't come from futuristic sci-fi visions, but from ordinary American houses of the 1960s, hidden inside normal neighborhoods? Existed items so unusual, so wildly imaginative, and so absolutely impractical by today's standards, that they feel like something out of another universe. And yet, millions of families lived with them every single day. Inside the 1960s home, ordinary walls hid a completely different universe. A universe where design wasn't sterile, neutral, or silent, like most modern minimalist spaces today, but bold, expressive, experimental, and filled with personality and daring imagination. Homes back then weren't just practical shelters, they were living sculptures. Each room told a story about family habits, technology dreams, cultural influences, and the optimism of a country that believed the future could be shaped by human creativity inside the home, not just outside it. The lifestyle of this era was reflected in the smallest architectural decisions, from the furniture material to the built-in systems hidden inside walls. A living room wasn't simply a rectangular space with a TV and a sofa. A kitchen wasn't just a cooking station. A bathroom wasn't just functional. Every room was designed to enhance comfort, social connection, entertainment, and daily rituals. Because people spent so much time at home as families, every detail mattered. These interiors introduced experimental ideas that today would be considered extreme, strange, or even impractical. Yet at that time, they represented innovation, status, comfort, and cultural identity. This was a generation unafraid of being bold, colorful, and different. These designs captured the spirit of mid-century America, where optimism was high, consumer culture was booming, and domestic life was seen as the center of emotional joy and stability. Today, many of these features have vanished. They quietly faded away, replaced by modern materials, high-efficiency gadgets, subtle colors, and simplified design philosophies. But inside these forgotten objects and interior details lies a deeper story about how families once lived, what they valued, how they bonded, and what they believed the future would look like. And when we uncover them again, it feels like we've opened a time capsule, revealing ideas that once defined an entire era, yet today feel almost unbelievable. Hidden conversation pits with built-in fire seating were one of the strangest but most intimate social features inside 1960s homes. Instead of sitting on standard sofas arranged around the room, families stepped down into a lowered, sunken seating area surrounded by cushions and warm mid-century textures. In the center, often sat a fireplace built directly into the architecture, turning ordinary evenings into quiet, ritualistic gatherings. The lowered level made conversations feel private, personal, and deeply connected in a way modern living rooms rarely achieve anymore. This space wasn't designed for television. It was designed for talking, bonding, storytelling, and sharing moments without distraction. Over time, these pits became considered impractical and were removed or leveled out. But the emotional experience they created is almost impossible to recreate in today's rectangular living rooms. Wall-to-wall, wood paneling defined the visual soul of countless 1960s homes. Instead of smooth, painted drywall like we see today, living rooms and basements were wrapped entirely in rich walnut, oak, mahogany, or deep, warm-toned wood surfaces. This created an immediate feeling of coziness, warmth, and quiet intimacy. Running your hand across the real wood grain felt luxurious, substantial, and personal, a stark contrast to the flat, cold, blank walls of modern interiors. Wood paneling didn't just decorate a room, it shaped atmosphere, emotions, and identity. But as design moved toward cheaper materials and cleaner minimalist looks, these panels slowly disappeared, leaving behind memories of a time when natural wood was considered the height of comfort and sophistication inside the American home. In the 1960s, music wasn't just background noise, it was an experience. Many homes had beautifully crafted built-in vinyl cabinets with stereo systems hidden inside teak or walnut furniture. Sliding open those smooth wooden panels to reveal a turntable felt ceremonial, intentional, and almost sacred. Families would place a record, gently drop the needle, and let warm analog sound fill the entire room. Not rushed, not passive, but shared. These built-in systems were symbols of culture, taste, and artistic pride. They transformed music listening into a family ritual, not a solo phone-headphone moment. Over time, portable devices, CDs, streaming, and convenience killed this immersive ritual. But those built-in stereo shrines remind us of a time when playing music required patience, presence, and appreciation. In the 1960s, furniture wasn't shy or neutral. It exploded with bold patterns and striking color combinations. Sofas and armchairs were covered in saturated tones like burnt orange, olive green, mustard yellow, and vivid geometric or floral prints that instantly energized a room. This upholstery wasn't just decoration, it was a statement of joy, individuality, and emotional expression. The contrast between bright fabrics and natural wood frames created an atmosphere that felt alive and optimistic. Today's interiors are often dominated by safe neutrals and muted minimal trends. But back then, sitting down in the living room meant entering a world of color, playfulness, and personality that reflected the spirit of the era. Bathrooms in the 1960s were not quiet, neutral, or plain like most modern homes today. They were bold statements of personality and color identity. Entire bathrooms were built in rich pastel tones like soft pink, avocado green, or calming sky blue. From the tiles to the tub, from the sink to the toilet, these colors created a playful, cheerful, almost luxurious spa-like atmosphere inside the home. It made bathrooms feel expressive rather than purely functional. Today, neutral whites, grays, and simple tones dominate. But these vibrant bathroom color themes remind us that there was once a time when even the most private room in the house was designed to bring joy, mood, and character into everyday life. In the 1960s, luxury wasn't reserved for hotels or resorts. Some homes built their own spa experiences right into the bathroom floor. Sunken bathtubs were recessed directly into the ground, creating a seamless soaking space that felt private, elegant, and indulgent. Surrounded by ceramic tiles, stone accents, or even indoor greenery, these tubs offered deep relaxation and a spa-like retreat inside an ordinary suburban home. It was a bold design choice that transformed bathing from a routine activity into a calming escape. Over time, pre-made tubs, renovation costs, and modern trends made these features disappear, but they remain one of the most visually striking reminders of how boldly homeowners once prioritized comfort, mood, and sensory experience inside their homes. Melamine dinnerware completely changed family dining in the 1960s. Instead of worrying about breaking delicate glass or ceramic plates, homes embraced durable, lightweight melamine sets in bright, cheerful colors. These plates made everyday meals easier, safer, and stress-free, especially for families with young kids. They were affordable, easy to clean, tough enough to survive drops, and came in endless patterns that matched the playful visual culture of the era. Melamine wasn't just dishware. It was a symbol of convenience, practicality, and modern living. Over time, design trends evolved and new materials took over. But these colorful melamine plates still represent a moment when innovation in the kitchen made daily family life simpler and more efficient. In the 1960s, Tupperware wasn't just storage, and it was a social event. Housewives hosted Tupperware parties inside their living rooms where friends and neighbors gathered to see new products, share demonstrations, and enjoy snacks. These gatherings created a social shopping network long before online marketplaces existed. People bonded, exchanged tips, and bought practical airtight containers that transformed kitchen organization. These parties blurred the line between business and social life and became a cultural phenomenon that shaped the domestic economy of the time. Today, we shop online alone with a click. But back then, Tupperware parties turned buying kitchenware into community, conversation, and connection. Fondue sets were one of the most stylish and entertaining hosting trends inside 1960s homes. Instead of serving a typical dinner, guests gathered around a shared pot of melted cheese or chocolate, dipping bread, fruit, or meat using long-colored forks. It turned eating into an interactive experience filled with laughter, conversation, and participation. Having a fondue set symbolized that the homeowner was modern, social, and up-to-date with cultural trends. Fondue wasn't just food. It was a social ritual, a bonding moment, and a sign of sophistication during home gatherings. Over time, these sets disappeared from mainstream kitchens, but they remain a nostalgic reminder of how families once made dining a shared event instead of a routine task. In many 1960s homes, small built-in cocktail bar cabinets were hidden inside the living room walls like secret entertainment stations. Instead of rolling bar carts or open counter displays, these compact bar closets held liquor bottles, glassware, mixers, and cocktail tools neatly stored behind elegant wood doors, often with mirrored backs to make the space feel larger and glamorous. When guests arrived, the homeowner would simply open the cabinet doors, and an entire mini-bar magically appeared in seconds. These bars made hosting feel elevated, personal, and luxurious, turning even ordinary nights into stylish social gatherings. Today, this feature has mostly disappeared, but it represents a time when home entertaining was treated like an art, and creating a special moment for guests was part of the culture and personality of the era. In the 1960s, the television wasn't a flat object hanging on a wall, it was a massive piece of furniture. Console TVs were built inside heavy wooden cabinets with storage, speakers, and polished finishes, making the TV feel like a central decorative object rather than a simple device. Families gathered around these sets as if it was the heart of the living room, the window to the outside world, and the source of shared entertainment. Owning a color console TV was a sign of social status and modern living. Today we treat screens like disposable tech, slim, temporary, and easily replaced. But back then, the console television symbolized pride, longevity, investment, and a truly communal viewing experience inside the home. The wall-mounted rotary dial phone was once the communication core of the home, usually placed in the kitchen, the busiest and most central space. This phone kept families connected long before wireless convenience existed. Every call required physically dialing each number with a satisfying click and rotation, turning phone conversations into a deliberate moment instead of an instant action. These colorful rotary phones matched kitchen tiles and decor, becoming part of the home's visual identity. Today, smartphones make communication fast, constant, and portable. But the rotary wall phone reminds us of a time when talking was intentional, meaningful, and centered around a single shared location inside the home. Before efficient home heating became the norm, the electric blanket became an essential winter companion inside 1960s homes. Plugging it into the wall and feeling instant warmth under the covers made cold nights comfortable without needing to heat the entire house. These blankets offered personal luxury, cozy sleep, and emotional comfort, especially for families living in drafty homes. Many people still remember the nostalgic feeling of climbing into bed and waiting for the blanket to heat up. Today we rely on advanced climate control systems, but electric blankets remind us how simple innovations once made a huge difference in daily comfort, creating warmth and security during long winter nights. In the 1960s, flooring wasn't meant to disappear into the background, it was meant to be noticed. Patterned linoleum floors brought bold color, wild motifs, checkerboards, atomic shapes, and floral prints that instantly energized kitchens and bathrooms. These designs turned the floor into a visual focal point, not just a surface to walk on. Families loved linoleum because it was durable, affordable, easy to clean, and able to survive heavy daily traffic. Over time, newer synthetic flooring and minimalist trends pushed these colorful patterns out of style. But linoleum floors remain a powerful visual timestamp of an era that embraced artistic expression right under your feet. Formica countertops turned 1960s kitchens into playful, vibrant showcases of mid-century imagination. Instead of neutral stone or plain surfaces like today, Formica came in bold turquoise, cherry red, pastel blends, atomic starburst prints, polka dots, geometric grids, and endless futuristic color themes that transformed ordinary cooking spaces into visual excitement. They were durable, easy to clean, affordable, and became the modern family's pride. A stylish way to show personality and confidence through design. Over time, as granite, quartz, and subtle minimalist design took over, Formica slowly faded away. But these countertops remain one of the strongest graphic signatures of the 60s. Proof that creativity once lived directly on the kitchen surface. Not just in decor, fold-down ironing boards were one of the most practical, space-saving features inside 1960s homes. Instead of dragging out a bulky freestanding board and finding a place to store it, these ironing boards were cleverly hidden inside a wall cabinet or built-in closet. With one simple pull, the board folded down instantly, ready to use. When finished, it vanished back into the wall, keeping the home neat, clean, and efficient. This design reflected the mid-century belief that every inch of the home should serve a purpose. Today, these built-in solutions have mostly disappeared, replaced by portable boards and wrinkle-free fabrics. But they remind us of a time when homes were engineered with clever hidden conveniences to make everyday chores easier. In the 1960s, chrome wasn't just a material. It was a statement of futuristic pride inside the kitchen. Toasters, stand mixers, percolators, canister sets. Almost every countertop appliance was finished in shiny chrome that reflected light and made the entire kitchen sparkle with a clean, modern, almost laboratory-grade look. This metallic shine symbolized progress, new technology, and efficiency. It told guests that this home was modern, forward-thinking, and embracing the future. Over time, tastes shifted towards softer colors, plastic finishes, and minimalist matte surfaces. But chrome appliances remain a powerful symbol of an era where shine equaled innovation, and where the modern home proudly showed off its technological advancement right on the kitchen counter. Wooden magazine racks were a simple but deeply cultural household feature inside 1960s homes. These racks held the family's favorite magazines right beside the sofa. Titles like Life, Woman's Day, Reader's Digest, and Boy's Life. They revealed what people cared about, what they read, what inspired them, and what shaped their worldview long before digital screens existed. These racks made printed media easily accessible, organized, and proudly visible to guests. Today we scroll alone in silence on phones, but back then, the magazine rack represented curiosity, shared reading, and a home that valued ideas, storytelling, and learning. Interior stone walls brought a raw, natural, earthy elegance into 1960s homes. Instead of smooth painted surfaces, families lived with textured river stones, slate panels, or rugged natural rock forming part of their living rooms, hallways, or fireplace surroundings. These walls added depth, personality, warmth, and visual character, creating a sense of nature brought indoors. The shifting light across stone surfaces changed throughout the day, giving the room a living, breathing quality. Over time, simpler drywall and mass-produced construction replaced this beautiful organic detail. But stone interior walls remain one of the most dramatic reminders of a period where homes weren't afraid to be bold, tactile, and deeply connected to the natural world. Lattice room dividers were a clever mid-century solution to separate spaces without closing them off, instead of solid walls blocking sight and airflow. These open geometric or curved pattern dividers gently defined areas like dining rooms and living rooms, while still preserving light, openness, and visual connection. They created a sense of structure without isolation, giving privacy without making the home feel smaller. As modern homes shifted toward extreme minimal open concepts, these elegant dividing features faded away. But they remain a reminder that design once sought balance between openness and intimacy, rather than simply erasing boundaries entirely. Tiki-themed decor became a unique trend in many 1960s homes. Inspired by tropical island escapism, families created small areas decorated with bamboo, carved tiki statues, palm motifs, and colorful cocktail glasses to make their homes feel like exotic getaway lounges. These minibars symbolized freedom, adventure, playful imagination, and the desire to bring vacation energy into everyday suburban life. Over time, this fantasy-driven design disappeared as tastes became more minimal and serious. But tiki bars remain a nostalgic reminder of when people allowed their homes to feel fun, whimsical, and transported far away without ever leaving the living room. Homes in the 1960s were not afraid of visual impact. Entire walls, Sometimes entire rooms were covered in bold geometric shapes, massive floral patterns, and saturated bright colors that made every space feel dramatic and expressive. Wallpaper wasn't subtle decoration. It was identity and personality printed straight onto the walls. Today's homes often favor safe neutrals and minimal plain walls. But the 60s wallpaper era shows how boldly homeowners once embraced originality, creativity, and visual risk-taking in their daily environment. Instead of keeping gadgets hidden inside drawers, many kitchens in the 1960s had heavy-duty wall-mounted can openers permanently installed near the counter. These devices were always in the same place, always ready to use, and built strong enough to handle thick metal cans. They became a symbol of practicality and efficiency inside the kitchen. Over the years, electric appliances and modern convenience replaced them. But these fixed can openers represent a time when tools were made to last, stay visible, and physically become part of the home structure. For people who lived in small apartments or homes without space for big built-in dishwashers, compact countertop dishwashers offered relief. These portable units sat right on the counter and attached directly to the faucet, giving families modern convenience without remodeling. When not in use, they could be put away to save room. They solved real space problems during a time when dishwashing tech wasn't universal. Today, compact living and tiny homes are coming back. But these early portable dishwashers were the original, proof that practical innovation doesn't always require permanent installation. Push button. Electric stoves were a futuristic dream inside 1960s kitchens. Instead of turning knobs, homeowners pressed sleek buttons to activate burners and control cooking heat, making the kitchen feel modern, advanced, and space-age inspired. This technology made cooking feel effortless and gave kitchens a streamlined, clean look that symbolized the future. Eventually, digital touch panels and modern smart appliances replaced these systems, but push-button stoves marked the moment when American homes began stepping into the world of automated cooking. When we look back at these strange features today, it's easy to laugh or wonder how people ever lived with such unusual designs. But the truth is, these weren't strange to them. They were expressions of creativity, excitement, optimism, and the belief that the home should feel alive, not standardized. The 1960s home was built on personality, experimentation, comfort, color, and imagination. Every feature served an emotional purpose, not just a practical one. Today our homes are cleaner, quieter, and more minimal, but maybe also more empty, more serious, more cautious. We have efficient lights, silent kitchens, neutral walls, smart devices, but far less character. These forgotten 60s home features remind us that design used to be brave. People weren't afraid to take risks, to express identity, to make their homes playful, bold, and deeply personal. Maybe the real question isn't why these features disappeared. Maybe the question is, when did we decide homes should stop feeling artistic, immersive, and full of personality? When we look back at these strange features today, it's easy to laugh or wonder how people ever lived with such unusual designs. But the truth is, these weren't strange to the families who lived in those homes. They were symbols of personality, optimism, experimentation, and imagination. Homes were not designed to be lifeless boxes. They were designed to feel expressive, emotional, and alive. Every item, every color, every built-in idea had meaning. It wasn't only function, it was identity. Today we have more technology, more convenience, more efficiency, yet somehow less soul inside our living spaces. Homes have become simplified, neutral, sterile, and standardized, losing the warmth, character, and playful individuality that older generations embraced. These forgotten 1960s features remind us that design once had courage. People weren't afraid to be bold. They weren't afraid of color. They weren't afraid to create homes that felt like personal worlds instead of showroom catalogs. Maybe these features didn't actually disappear because they were strange. Maybe they disappeared because we became more afraid of standing out.